Now, I've got growth there in terms of personal development. Now, everybody thinks that what they do is, read a book and now I'm personally developing, or I go to a course like this and now I'm personally developing. In a sense, that's exactly not true. So the way that I've got it wired up, is that you can only actually personally develop in the moment that you're triggered. Now, this is just my theory, okay, so I haven't tested it. Well, I mean, I test it every single day. But if you think about it, I can have a head full of facts and knowledge and figures. I can go to these courses until the cows come home. I can read every book on the planet. But if somebody pokes you in your hot button and you fire off in the same way that you normally fire off in, then nothing's developed. Now, you can only, in the moment that you're triggered, in that moment, you can decide to put something else in its place. Well, if I'm going to poke you where it's sensitive, you're normally just going to go straight into reaction. Whatever is behind that hot button, let's say. And you do that immediately. Basically, there's no control over it. Now, let's say that that's an emotional button. You'll go straight into your emotion. Now, you can then catch yourself. Once you're triggered, if you're quick on your mind, if you're still breathing, because what happens is the brain shuts down because we stop breathing, of course. And, as soon as we stop breathing, we go away from our neocortex and we can't think. So we go straight into reaction. Now, at the earliest possible time that you can do it, you can realise that you're now being triggered. No, it might take you 6 months to recognise that. Some guys are pretty slow. But, you can actually do it in the next minute, or you can do it in the next 30 seconds. It just depends on how skill-basing you're actually doing. Now, so you're going to go into reaction. So there's no... In fact, let's do it like this. So, here I am and I'm just going along in my normal whatever, and so here's a stimulus, okay? Whatever that is. And let's say it's just pressed your hot button, okay? So immediately behind that little hot button is a reaction. And now you're just going to go into reaction. Now what do? Normally you'll actually have a series of behaviours and a series of feelings. So that equals a series of behaviours and feelings. Now, when you start breathing again, you might then say, oh gee, I could have responded in any number of other ways. Okay? So, what we understand is, okay, so there's a time lag between the reaction and then the conscious response. Now, how long is that time lag for you? So, what we really want to do is get practiced at reducing the time lag. That's personal development. Well, that's the way I've got it wired up. Now, how do we actually practice it?
Throw ourselves into the situation.
Get triggered. No, you can't do it through consciousness. Like, you can sit there with your legs crossed and all that sort of stuff, You've got to do it through repetition. And so what we want is to get triggered so we can practice it more. What are we going to resist the most? Getting triggered because it's so uncomfortable. But the best gift that anybody can give you is to trigger you. You won't see it as a gift.